United Christian Mustangs against the Victory Baptist Patriots. We stand to our feet. We'll have a word of prayer, and after that, remain standing for our national anthem. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much, Lord, for a good first game that you had. We pray that you would also protect this game and help all the athletes on the court just to represent you well. Lord, thank you for schools that represent the name of Christ, and I pray that they would do that, Lord, on the court and on the bench for their teams. Lord, thank you for the coaches who have invested into these players and help them, Lord, as they teach, Lord, good characteristics to these young men. Lord, we pray for a good ball game and safe travels as we head back. Thank you, Lord, for the most important thing. We feel the cross of Calvary for us. We love you, Lord. Thank you. Amen. Thank you for standing for our national anthem. You may be seated. Let's meet the starting lineup for the away team. The United Christian Mustangs, wearing number 5, Nick Counts. Wearing number 10, Jonathan Gooch. Number 12, Gabriel Tridiger. Number 24, Caden Hyde. Wearing number 25, Matthew Goat. Now it's time to meet your very own Victory Baptist Patriots. And the number 42, Jeremiah Everett. Wearing number 30, it's Christian Rock. Andrew Moore. And the number 0 is Aiden Hinkle. Number 32, Tyler Johnson. That's the starting lineups for your Victory Baptist Patriots. Coached by Robert Brown. Let's go, boys. White flag, white flag, white flag.
Welcome in to Shelbyville, Tennessee, Victory Baptist Academy, United Christian Academy Mustangs. Ready to play some ball here. White wins the tip. Nick went after that ball there on that possible steal. Number 42 driving. Looks like both teams are kind of feeling each other out here. Hayden got some hands up, and there's a steal. Looks like they starting one of their man-to-man plays. Nick goes right after the three-pointer and opens up with a three-point shot. Nick Counts, taking us to 3-0. Victory Baptist driving down. They go hard in on that pass. They go downstairs. They got a tip on that ball. Matthew goes up strong all the way to the hoop. Brings this game to 2. or excuse me, 5-0. Gooch got some hands on that ball. It's a bit of a quiet gym. I'm not quite used to that. They got a decent amount of people over here, maybe 40 plus. Gooch just drives all the way in. Brings that to 7-0. Timeout by White. Coach Davis over there gathering his recruits. Victory Patriots getting the ball with 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go. UCA up already 7-0. That's a nice play there by Victory. They got down low on a shot. Gooch looks like, I think it was, no, it might have been Matthew, got a touch on the ball and a block. Gooch looks outside, considers going in, kicks it back out to Matthew. Matthew steps out of bounds right there on the line. That's going to be Victory ball. That is a rebound by Hayden High. Down comes Matthew Gokes at the offense up. There's a screen there, and Gooch goes in, feeds it to Hayden. Hayden goes up. Gooch goes really high to get the rebound. Gets his own rebound twice. Gets knocked down. No call there. I definitely feel like that probably should have been a call. And number 21 goes all the way down and draws the foul. This is Matthew kicking out to Gooch. Gooch looking for a way in, but decides to kick all the way over to Nick. Nick wasn't quite ready to receive there. He probably would have shot it. Matthew drives in, goes up hard, and drives all the way into the hoop. Can't quite tell where the hoop's at. Oh, there we go. Okay. This is a 3-point attempt by the Shelbyville school. They managed to get themselves a draw off the UCA Mustangs there. Ball goes way up top. And they kick to the corner to number 21. 21 tries to fire it in. It's off the foot of one of the Mustang players. It's going to be inbounded by Victory. They throw it out. Ball actually bounces up and goes in off somebody. 9-4 your score. UCA up 5, 4:10 to go. drives in hard. Gooch might have been called for an over the back there. He went up over somebody to get the rebound, but that was left alone by the ref. But ultimately, Victory comes away with the ball, looking to fire it in over to a three-point shooter. Nice look all the way, actually. And Victory manages to bring this game to within 2 points. I think at first, UCA was very confident. Victory was a little shell-shocked. Victory looks like they've recovered a little bit. UCA will just need to get back to what they were doing there in the first couple of minutes. Gooch goes in hard, draws a foul.
Good time. You know.
And Gooch with the 10th point of the game for the UCA Mustangs. They've scored 10 points this quarter. Based on that scoring prolific rate, this is going to be their highest scoring game. I have this feeling. They're on the pace right now to score about 50. We'll see if they can maintain that pace throughout this game. Matthew Goat is bringing the ball down the floor. This is kicked out to Gabe. Back to Matthew, who's going in hard. He gets his own rebound. He travels with the ball. He's trying to kick it out to Hayden High. Must have taken a step or two there. Gets away with the walk there. It looked hard like the walk, but refs are being a little generous tonight just a bit generous for Victory, I believe, but not overly so. 10-8 your score. Ball knocked out of the hands of the UCA dribbler. Matthew goes down to get in the paint, gives up the point guard position to James. And Matthew just goes in and lays up a nice ball to make it 12-8 UCA lead. Got a hard drive here. Boy, Nick just read that all the way. Great read by Nick. And he lays it up on the other side of the floor. He read that the whole way. On that pass, I think he's kind of looking. There's another advantage of the 1-3-1. You got guys in the passing lanes if they're willing to make that read and jump those balls, they'll get some steals. So the coach is training them pretty well on that. The ball gets down there. That was nice, guys. UCA player. No, it goes off of the Victory player. So it's UCA ball down low below the basket. Gooch taking it out. Kicks to Nick. Boy, he's wide there. He's definitely going to shoot that. Comes off. Hayden gets a hand on it. Victory gets it. Everybody's looking. Oh, boy, there's a slide there. His foot goes off the line. I thought it might be a travel, but it turns out the referee called out of bounds there. His foot slid out of bounds while he still had possession of the ball. Got James Davis coming down looking. He finds Gooch. Gooch is not sure what he wants to do with it. Boy, this boy's all over. This boy's all over James. It's number 21. Felt a little bit like James underestimated that pressure. He's used to guys about twice that size pressuring him. But that young man was very, what shall we say, determined. Scores 14-10, 1 minute and 11 seconds to go. And it's like Jonathan Gooch is going to take some free throw shots by the looks of it. Coach Davis is taking a timeout, full timeout. No, I got nothing before.
I said, I'm not there yet. I'm coming.
Hey, if somebody can slip and get me some of them nachos, though, I would pay good money.
Olivia.
Sorry, I'm being a little quiet. I don't want to disturb the fans around me, but there's based on all these banners on the wall, I feel like this team may have been stronger in the past. They sure have a lot of runners-up and winners of the TAAHCS conference. But it's a quiet gym, no doubt. Quiet gym. Oh boy, that wasn't a foul really, but it was a strong physical contact between Matthew and the victory player. Didn't feel like it was a foul on either player, but it was a little jarring, I think. That was a missed shot. Gooch scores one of his free throws. We got a 15-10 score right now with a minute to go. Little spin movement by number 21. 21 kicks to the paint, and Nick, once that ball was dislodged, Nick came away with it. Boy, he feeds James just beautiful. It was not enough. I think James was a little bit to the outside there. It's a nice jump stop by number 21. 21's actually a pretty good ball player. He's just a little young. I noticed there's some bigger boys on the bench, and I wondered at the start of the game why 21 had starting position, but I'm telling you, he's just quite a ball. I don't remember.
Back to bed. Good job, guys. Good defense. Be pressured, gotta help him. Let's go, Warren.
Nice three-point shot by Victor in 2 seconds. Holden gets that ball and goes straight up to it. Looks like a good score. That's almost a double dribble. They get to 21. He's going to look to take a really deep three. Boy, if that had gone in, that was probably 3 feet back at least. I would have been very surprised, but no, they didn't get that to go. So it's a 2-point game at the end of 8 minutes. UCA leading by 2, 15-13 in the Victory Baptist Patriots gym. And I may be just a little quieter over the next couple of minutes because I'm finishing off a nice nacho cheese and chip dip. We got a pretty nice little concession down here. Nice play by Matthew there. He got he set the pick for James's man on that full court press. And James fed him back the ball. He had the wide open dribble down the lane, goes into the center of the paint. Pulls up for a center of the paint jumper, gets two more. UCA maintaining a 2-point lead, but looks like he's going to get called for a foul there, Matthew. I think he probably did get all ball, but he came down strong on the shooter. A lot of times refs will call that because if they're behind the play, they'll assume the foul. So we're going to get 2 shots for 30. Victory had taken a 1-point lead with that shot. There's a little bit of feisty play on this end of the floor. Nick very smartly came up with a ball that was nearly a steal. He hit a wide open holding. He decided to kick out, but there was a victory play. Oh, this is a wide open look to it from the corner. That's a miss. 21 looks like. Looks like their actual best player is probably number 21. He's a very feisty defender, but he already has 2 fouls. They've been trying to do this full court press. If they're not careful, they're going to get. James decided to actually go down the sideline on that. No pick was forthcoming. With no pick, he had to try to get around him. The boy did have good position. That attempt to dribble around him didn't work out. James came away with the out of bounds there on the sideline. Number 21's kicking it out. Nick managed to come away with a steal, but he actually stays with the steal, so he didn't lose the ball, but the white player behind him actually swiped the ball from him. And Matthew gets it. Let's see what he wants to do. Matthew's going to try to go down the sideline. Loses control of the ball. Oh, but he tips it back in, and Gooch gets it, ships it out to Nick. Nick drives and tries to feed. Yeah, that's a foul on Nick there. He tried to feed the ball back to Matthew. White's gaining some confidence here. They have a 1-point lead. 6 minutes to go. I did believe personally when this game started that it looked like the UCA was going to actually get likely 20-point lead on this team. That still is actually possible. But they were all playing so timid, especially the number 21 there. 21's really come alive. He looks like he really wants to make things happen. Some of his other teammates, though, aren't as confident. Nice play by Nick. He got way over top of number 32 there. And they did not call that a foul. They just called it out of bounds on Nick. So the inbound here, going all the way up top, and number 42, who decides to try his hand at the three-pointer. Comes off the rim. Gabriel Drees her down with the rebound, but there was hands all over it, and that ultimately is going back to Victory. It's a jump ball to call. So UCA will get the next jump ball. It goes right back up top. They kick it to 42, kicks it out to 21. 21 goes all the way across the floor there. I think we could have stole that if we'd been ready. 42's looking. He's going to give it to probably 21 from behind here. 21 kicks over. Ooh, man. Very smartly, this Goose jumped that ball. It was all the way in. Mason's the way he was so open there. I think it was almost too open. Wasn't used to not having any contact behind him, but great steal. He makes it again. Actually gets the whole ball. Let's see what he does here. Block is the right call there. Block was definitely the right call. There was some physicality down there, but he did not have position. His feet were moving when the contact was made. That defender. Looks like that foul's on number 21. That is very unfortunate. It's not even halfway through the second quarter, and that's his third, if you can see up on the board there. And they've got to pull him off. That's really kind of unfortunate for them. They really had a good player in number 21 and still do, but foul trouble means he might not see him until the third quarter. They've replaced him with number 0. The game is now tied. Everybody's hands are coming off that ball, but the white player, number 5, comes down, or 15 that is, comes down with it. Yeah, that was a foul that could have been a dribbling issue with Matthew, because he did come very high with that dribble, but I guess the ref spotted the foul first. Gives that foul on Victory. They now have 5 for the quarter. Once they went into that, that's the foul on number 42 there, his second. Everybody on this team is gathering fouls quickly. They decided to go into a full court press, and as soon as they went into the full court press, they went very aggressive at our players. And some of them are paying a price for that. With multiple fouls, I think they're going to end up with at least 2 players in foul trouble by the end of this quarter, unless they pull off that full court press. 18-18 your score. Nice shot by Matthew to get the lead. 1 point lead. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second period. Without that number 21 on the floor, the Mustangs should rightly smell blood in the water, and they do. And boy, he finds Nick in a hurry, doesn't he? Nick decides to just go right on up and score that 2 points. Now have a 3-point UCA lead, 21-18 in score. It did feel to me like as soon as 21 went off, there's going to be a disparity of play here. He was the person they were looking for. Nick steals that and is heading straight to the basket. And he scores that. Nick's having a prolific day on steals and shot. One more. Jump stop by Victory there. We probably should have looked for the fast break. Gooch got out in front of all the white players. Nobody saw him. Matthew brings down, finds Gooch. Gooch tries to drive. Boy, he's got it all day. Yeah, that had to be a foul. I hate it, but it is a foul.
Like what I see, guys. Good job. Take time, Jake.
That was a foul on number 30, his second.
Good shot, Jake.
What the coach from Victory there was encouraging his players to move their feet. The reason why is if you let the player in and you don't keep your body in front of them, you end up having to whack at their arms on the way by, and that becomes a foul. So what you want your defensive players to do is actually play defense with their feet and not get to the point that you have to whack with your arms. So the trick is to keep your body in front of your player and the basket behind you and the player in front of you. Once you're not in that position, you're exposed to a foul. UCA has managed to bring a 6-point lead on this game. 3 minutes, 32 seconds to go. And multiple people in foul trouble. They're actually in the bonus right now, so every shot, or every foul that is, it comes in on victory will result in free throws for UCA for the rest of this quarter. Not to mention they really don't have any room for that. And this is what I expected in the first quarter, was that UCA would pull away a little bit. It was immediate when they pulled 21. Had a slow foul. Sure, number 21 probably wishes he could take one or two of those back. The difference in play was immediate. I think we had the advantage when he was on the floor, but we have a big advantage with him off. Boy, Gooch almost stole that. Oh, that was a travel, but they let him get away with it. 42 takes it, and that goes up to the top. Ball's moving mainly around. Boy, Matthew really smartly came in there and grabbed that. I think the player from Victory wanted it. It was a little bit out of his reach. Matthew was looking like he wanted to go in. He does want to go in. Matthew's just wants to go in and get himself some points. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. It's an 8-point lead by the UCA Mustangs.
Good hands. Stay active. Hey, look here, 42, look at 42.
Holden Thorne is checked in for Hayden High.
32, take, 32.
Nick was tying that ball up fast. That young man from Victory wanted to get the ball out of his hands, and he does. They're looking around to see where they want to shoot. Number 42 comes in. Almost gets another steal from Gooch, but Gooch got turned around there, and player from Victory gets a three-point shot off. And it looks like there's another foul. Yeah, another foul on Victory. Boy, I hope this doesn't put them in more trouble than they already are. That foul is on number 32, but that's only his first, so that doesn't hurt him. And it wasn't a possession foul by UCA, so they're not going to get the free throw. Ball is not in anybody's possession, so that's going to be just called a loose ball foul. Here goes Nick. Well, he's going hard at it again. Let's see what he does. Boy, he's got an angle on that basket tonight. He's tuned into the basket. He looks like he's going to put up 20-plus points tonight at this rate that he's been going here. Opened up with a 3 and probably has at least 6 on his 2s. I think Gabriel wanted to join in on the party there and get himself a steal, but it did go right off of him back to the white player, and it looks like UCA has fouled. I'm not sure who fouled yet. That's number 5. That's Nick. That's his second. Coach has a deep bench, though, tonight, especially compared to the bench Victory has, so I think he won't worry too much about a second foul with a minute and 40 seconds to go. Gooch dives all over the floor to get that, but he rolled. So the story is there. If you get a ball on the floor, you have to actually pass or call timeout from that position. If you roll your body to try to get up, for example, that's going to be a travel. It's going to be moving without dribbling. So you'd almost have to dribble to try to stand up. Maybe that should have been a timeout, but with the 10-point lead, I don't think it's too concerned about it. Yeah, that's definitely a foul. That's a foul on Gooch. I think it's his first of the day, but Gooch smells blood in the water. I think he's ready to take some of these to the house. Oh, boy. Gooch has it. I saw that one coming. Oh, boy. A non-verbal miscommunication there by Gooch, who thought that Matthew was ready to receive that pass. Matthew was not prepared for that. And that's a turnover, so we got a minute and 28 seconds to go. We got Victory Baptist seeing what they can do. A little bit surprised that the Victory head coach hasn't put 21 in with strict instructions not to foul, see if he can get some offense in this last minute. But maybe he's afraid that wouldn't go well for him, so he's kept number 21 on the bench. Victory seeing what they can do without him. The score is 28-18. Matthew has the ball.
Gotta get out of the way.
bad that Matthew didn't seem to find Nick over in the corner. Nick was wide open, ready for a shot there. Kind of missed that look. Ended up with a travel. That's going to be another foul on Nick. That's his third, actually. I think Coach was wondering why, with 2 fouls already, he reached around. He should have kept his hands up, according to Coach. So Nick's coming out of the game with his third. I said a minute ago that Coach probably wasn't too worried, but that's before I knew Nick was going to reach around and get yet another foul. He's got to come off now, before halftime. Nick's on the bench. James Davis making an entrance. For those of you well-wishing George Davis came up with a broken wrist. He's on the bench over there. To you in a minute. Looks like that's going to be 2 shots from Matthew Goat.
Get into the spot.
So our bench varsity player and our point guard for our JV team is Coach's youngest son, George Davis, now has a broken wrist and is in a cast for the better part of 5 weeks. Matthew gets the first to give us a 10-point lead with 40 seconds to go. So we're well wishing him. I have no idea what January is going to bring, but it looks like a vast part of the season, probably at least over a month, I'd say, is gone. You know, he's not the type that would like that. He waits all year for basketball season. That's always tough news. He hit the wall at our last home game pretty hard, and even though he hit the part of the board that's padded, he still hit it hard enough to break the wrist. So over there on the end of the bench, helping keep stats with a hoodie on. It's not in uniform. All right, this ball comes out back up top. They go to the corner. So young boy decides to take his hand at it. We're not going to see any points off that possession for victory. 11-point lead by the UCA Mustangs. They now have 10 seconds to go. So they give this to Gabriel. And this ball goes off, I guess, his leg. I couldn't see quite sure. But if it came off UCA, it was probably off his leg. And they got 5 seconds to go. They're going to roll the ball. The travel call comes in. So the original call was travel, but the ref on the other side of the floor actually was closer to Coach Davis, and he saw that Coach Davis called that timeout really before the travel. So even though the gentleman on this side of the floor was calling travel, the ref on the other side of the floor overruled that. Said no, the timeout happened first. So this should come back into the possession of UCA. But it will only be 2 seconds to go. I don't know if they'll add seconds. I doubt it. So they're going to probably just be able to catch and shoot. My guess is there's going to be an off-the-ball pick, freeing up somebody to get open for an open look. And that open look going to happen fast once they catch the ball. We already have an 11-point lead. If anything were to fall, we'd have somewhere between a 13 and 14-point lead if anything were to fall. Short of that, though, we'll take an 11-point lead into halftime. I think Coach is overall pleased with this effort. And I imagine we may see a deep part of his bench. And Eli Counts might get some very rare and valuable minutes at the varsity level. He's only seen probably about a minute or two all season, but he looks for opportunities, so I'm sure could see some of those if we take a commanding lead. Maybe that will happen, but it looks like it could. No, that was way too much. Wow, Gucci that makes the shot. That's definitely after the buzzer. No doubt after the buzzer. I think that we should have looked to the pass to the basket first. We looked to the pass outside. So what you have is a 30, as you can see here, we have a 30-19, 11-point lead. We're going to go into the third quarter. I'm not exactly sure how much time they're going to put on there for halftime. My thought is probably somewhere between 6 and 8 minutes. I guess it's 8 minutes. The clock has now started moving. So I'll just leave this here so that we don't have to start a new live stream and move it back in 8 minutes with more action. from the UCA Mustangs at the Shelbyville Victory Baptist Patriots. It was a pretty long drive, not quite 2 hours, but very close to it. So I'll show you our little fan base over here. So we got like Mrs. Thorne, Mrs. High, Mrs. Goat, Mrs. Davis, a very often present fan. Austin McGowan makes the trip. Down there in the food court, we got, can't quite see it, it's around the bend there, but looks like we got Walden Thorne back there. And looks like you got Olivia Gooch down there somewhere. So we got a decent little fan section, traveling fan section. Mr. Count's traveling. And we got 6 minutes and 53 seconds to go. I'll keep the angle of this so you can see when the return of the action.
Here we go, guys.
Wow, the whole place went dark. The lights went out. When the lights go down in the city, they just did in Shelby. But they came back up quick. I'm glad they're not those. I'm glad those lights aren't the kind that take 15 minutes to come back on. But no score there. Gabe gets his hand on it, bounces off a couple of legs. Gooch comes up with it. Is looking to go hard. And I know that's disappointing because if he'd have pulled that down, he probably could have got himself a layup.
Take your time there,
It's an 11-point game, 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Number 21's back in. He's probably got strict instructions from the coach not to foul again. So I don't think they'll be trying that full court press. It was slightly effective, but they weren't disciplined enough not to foul out of it. So I think it was causing them more trouble than it was worth. They didn't come away with maybe one turnover on it. Boy, Gooch is going hard to the basket. Looks like he does draw the foul. Lowered the shoulder there, so that could have been trouble, but he gets out of that. Looks like he's going to take 2 shots. We'll see who fouls. I'll be able to see it here in a minute. This is one of those places that actually allows you to see who fouled. Looks like 0 fouled, and it's only his second. So he's the gentleman down on the block below Gabriel. So Gooch having a very active night, but not quite as productive based on his activity. I would have thought he would have had more. We just checked that at halftime, actually, and he has 6 for the game. And stays at 6. Looks like he missed both of those. Number 30 is going hard at it. Oh, he could have traveled there, but he gives it off to number 21. He takes a nice looking 3-point shot, but he doesn't make it. We have 32. Just like 2 of our players. So not so good defense on our part, but it was also very crafty of him to get in that way. So Matthews looking around, dribbles out. Just for a second there, that looked, oh boy, that was a scrum on the floor to get that ball. Nick is looking to stop the driver, he does, but picks up his 4th. So we might have trouble on the, I know he's disappointed, but his team was in trouble and he decided to stop the drive. He took it on the chin, picking up his 4th foul of the game. One more and he's out. James looks like he might be checking in over there at the scoring table, so he might end up going in for Nick. Poor Nick is on pace to have a great scoring night. Unfortunately, as it stands right now, that might be cut to a short halt based on Nick's having to sub out, and James Davis is checking in for him. And you can't fault him for not playing. He's playing hard, but I think that particular foul was a necessity. But sometimes when you have a foul that's not a necessity, like the one he had in the corner trying to steal, you pay the price later when you have a foul that is a necessity. There's a little bit of happy feet going on multiple times. Boy, I don't know how that ball didn't go out of bounds, but it didn't. It was thrown up hastily by the victory player, who I think just really wanted to draw the foul. Here goes number 21 spinning around and finds an open guy. He kicks out to the three-point line, and that's a no-go. UCA just blocks to let that ball go out. 30-21, 9-point lead by UCA. Gooch is inbounding to James Davis. 5 minutes and 37 seconds left in the third quarter. That's a flick out to Gooch. Gooch looks immediately to drive. Boy, I'll tell you what, everything's a foul for these guys. I know if I were Victory, I wouldn't be too pleased, but the refs I've hired calling everything a foul. They're already struggling. And that's the third foul now on number 0, so they really are paying the price on the fouls. I don't know if the full court press, although it was a nice try, has paid dividends for Victory. They're going to be having players sitting on the bench in the fourth quarter fouled out of the game when they probably needed something. That's the most likely scenario right now. UCA brings it back up to 10 points, double-digit lead, and Gooch is shooting his second free throw. It's off the rim. They just find Gabriel, but once again, there's another scrum on the floor. And Matthew actually takes a shot that I thought would have gone, but it was just off a little bit. He decides to knock that into the stands. It's a mother who was sitting on her cell phone to my right. Fortunately, she ducked at the last minute, kept from being clobbered. Matthew hit that way up into the stands here. All right, so Victory's back with the ball, and they kick it all the way to the corner. They decide to drive and go up and almost buy themselves a layup. Matthew works his way through several defenders, but comes away empty-handed. Matthew does. He tries to earn himself another one there, but there's a lot of pressure by Victory. And Hayden High's going to pick up a foul, moving down the floor in a hurry by the Victory player. Ball goes to the corner down there. Sorry, I don't have that corner in frame. 42 finds number 30, takes a dribble step. James ties it up, and that's going to be a jump ball. Yeah, both refs agree. Jump ball. UCA got the ball at the top of the quarter, so this ball is going to Victory. Oh, very nice. Beautiful feed back to the free throw line. That's a nice shot. Brings it to within 8 points. And James Davis is going down here to set up our offense. He kicks out to Jonathan Gooch. Jonathan Gooch drives hard to the basket and draws yet another foul. It's like a foul every time we go down the floor here. So certainly not our fault, but driving hard down the lane is drawing them fast. Fortunately, though, it's not going to be a foul that causes them any too much concern, since it's only the second one there for number 32. Jonathan Gooch tries a new approach to grabbing that basket by just barely having it hit the rim, and it bounces around and in. He does similar technique. It does bounce off the front, comes up in the hands of Gabriel Dreger. Matthew calls for it. Matthew's testing the paint again. He's going in strong to the paint tonight. A lot of points scored. Matthew in the paint. Ball goes back to James. James drives quickly down, goes up for a little teardrop shot. Oh, boy. Actually went nearly in the center. It pops right back out. Matthew had his arms wrapped around number 32, and I thought he might be foul, he didn't. And that's going to be a foul. I figured they might call that. I mean, he drove hard into it. Just smart player, number 21. I don't know what grade he's in. He probably looks at him probably 9. But I really feel like he will be a dominant player when he gets older. possibly even make it. One of the passes I've seen. He passes the ball with his entire body. I think that's going to serve him well, that strength on that pass. He's actually able to get it in places that weaker passers can't because of the steals. Oh boy, that's going to be, that's just going to be a layup. Yeah. Veracity of the player. I didn't think he missed that. He's a pretty good player. He got into the basket, puts it in. Brings this game to 9 points. They kick it out to Jonathan Gooch. He takes a little bit of a pump fake. Not sure what he wants to do, but he decides to go in and do a backwards reverse layup attempt. Misses it. Looks like Holden might have come down with it. Held his face and might have got whacked around a little bit there. James almost gets the steal. Boy, there is a steal there. That was actually dislodged by Gabriel Grieger. He comes down with the steal, and now we got another attempt at a fast break by James, but he pulls off of it. And the defensive player there keeps that from going up to Gabriel Grieger, who was waiting for a possible open shot at the top of the three-point line. Jonathan Gooch is going to inbounds. He gets that right into the hands of James. Looks like they're running a 2-3. Pretty familiar 2-3 defense by Victory. Boy, he stole that one. How he didn't come away with a foul there. I felt like he would. But I don't know if UCA actually didn't touch him, but he sold it. Oh, boy, that's an and one on the other side. So, unfortunately, Victory had what should have been maybe a foul on the other side. I couldn't quite tell. The refs were no call on that, though, and number 21 did not get foul. Held the back of his neck, still holding the back of his head because number 21, I think, felt like he got hit on his attempt. No foul. And Jonathan Gooch is going to take one shot because this would have been an and one and is an and one. So this is a 12-point lead. That's 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Get it. Good job, good job. Busy head, busy head.
Huge.
Good job, good job.
And that's going to be a foul on Gabriel Grieger. If it's their fifth on the quarter, they will get some free throw shots. Even though it was it was a floor foul, and they were initially setting up to take that on the inbounds, but that is the fifth of the quarter. That was on number 12. So that was on Gabriel Grieger. That's his fifth foul of the quarter. Gives Victory 2 shots from the free throw line. Hayden High checking in. And Eli Counts is checking in. So I had the feeling Eli might see a little action in that. 12-point lead. The coach is feeling pretty comfortable with it. Holden's scrumming to get the ball, and he does get it. Immediately passes to Matthew, who drives down and looks to see what he can do. And he goes up strong and gets another 2. Matthew's probably the leading scorer tonight. My guess would be, I'd say at least 12. I'm not sure what that actual number is, but we'll see when the books tell us. A very nice teardrop shot. That would have been 2 points if looks were a thing, but looked sweet, didn't go in. But I guess it did come into contact with the UCA player, and Victory keeps it and puts up a nice 3-point shot. There's some fundamentals here about the Victory team. I just think they're a little loud. So we're a little bit more physical. We're a little bit more aggressive in our body type here than they did. They've got some really nice fundamentals. They've got some nice jump stops. And some nice full court press was actually a nice full court press. But they have a 14-point lead right now. And that shot was missed by number 32. And he's looking to take this to within 13. Misses both. The rebound was almost off Hayden, but he knocks it into the hands of Matthew Goat. Boy, I don't know. That was not smart. I don't know who that was off of, but there's a chance that might have been off number 21. No, I don't think it was off 21. It'll come up here in a second. Matthew misses the first. It's off number 32. That's his fourth. Actually, he's only one away from leading the game. So 32 checks out for the Victory Patriots. And number 15 checks into his place. This is Matthew Goch's second attempt. Comes off the front of the rim. 21 gets it. Somehow comes through about 3 guys. It throws it into the corner. Nice shot. Hands everywhere. Holden High comes up with it. Holden High, excuse me. Holden Thorne. Got too many Holdens and Haydens. That was a drive. That was a nice play by Matthew and Eli to get that ball into the open hands of Holden Thorne. There's another hard drive down the field, number 21. He's fast. Boy, really nice turn and putback by number 30. That was a text-back, quick turnaround putback. Didn't fall, though. Kind of came in and out of the cylinder. Eli's wanting to participate, so he's actually trying to set a screen for Matthew. Matthew wants to go right-handed. Eli's playing hard, and actually runs up to put a hand in that shooter. Matthew comes down with the hand. And that is the end of the quarter. 39-25 is the score, 14-point lead by UCA Mustangs. And there is 1 quarter to go. Looks like we are just over an hour now. Game started about 2 or 3 minutes into this broadcast, right after the Star Spangled Banner. So games looks like this will be wrapped up in about an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and 20 tops. We might get an early start. Heard there was some sleet coming down in some of the areas around Hartsville. I know there was some that went up down there in Lafayette. So I think that means we're going to get on home. Although the temperature was high, I don't expect any troubles. We checked the temperature right away, make sure we weren't going to hit any freezing rain. It looks good on our drive home. And if we're lucky, we might get out of here by, even if we stop to eat, we might get out of here by about 7:30. So that's a nice night. Got to make it back in time for everybody to get their rest for the dinner theater tomorrow. Our UCA drama team putting on a dinner theater. You haven't bought tickets yet. Last time I looked, there was only 5 tickets available combined for both days, 2 on Friday, 3 on Saturday. So there's nearly a sellout of the dinner theater. Should be fun. And Black exits their huddle with 1 quarter to go, 8 minutes of play. And Jonathan Gooch coming over to take the inbound. Puts James up for the ball. That worked just like you asked it to right there. Jonathan Gooch had to turn around to make that shot, but he was in a decent position for the ball. The play was just like Coach drew it up, I'm sure. Oh, gosh.
Make sure you're not waving.
I think Jonathan Gooch just took a ball right to the face and probably to the nose. So it looks like he's staying in the game. Must not be bleeding. Certainly looked by the reaction he had. It must have been a painful right to the face shot. Number 21 there wanted to get that ball. I think they keep calling him Andrews. That must be his name, Andrew. It's number 21 for Victory. Looked like he wanted to pass to the wing, but Jonathan Gooch was nearly going to steal that one. So Gooch is all over the steals today. He kicks back out to James. And boy, Jonathan Gooch was wide open for that 3. And Holden, that's a very, very what would you call a very stereotypical over the back call there. You actually go over the back of your opponent to try to get a ball. You cannot invade his space to get that. If you're going to get a rebound high, you got to keep your hands up, reach over the back, and that's going to be a foul. So we picked up a foul there. Holden, his second of the game. But UCA ties it up and quickly gets the ball back. And here's James dribbling down the floor. 21 can play with a lot of hands. And the ball goes out. Gooch comes up to help inbound it. Oh boy, that's his fourth. I tell you what, he does just what Coach told him to do when we were doing the film study. Coach said if you feel the guy right on you, make a quick and immediate stop, and they'll run you over. And that certainly was his game plan there. And drew the fourth foul on number 21, so I do not think he'll make it. He's going to have to play off a little bit. He likes the aggressive D. Jonathan Gooch goes all the way to the rim. I really thought that he would get it. He gets his own rebound and a putback. Offensive board and 2 points for Jonathan Gooch in this the fourth quarter. They're nearly 20 points up now. Hayden gets arms and pass. Get some love from the crowd. The UCA fans are quite a bit rowdier. There's a definite steal. Oh, he didn't quite get his hands on it. He was going to the basket before he actually secured the ball. That was a jump stop. He might have, that young man had gone all the way in. He might have actually drawn that foul. I don't think we were set, ready to take a charge there. We get away with what might have been a foul. That's 2 consecutive offensive boards by Matthew Goach. Oh man, we missed him. That's going to be over the bag. We had a wide open James Davis at the top of the key there, but pass went over his head. He had no choice but to stop that. Get it over and back. Can't let the white player get it right there by the basket. So he stops the ball from moving, gets the over and back, and we lose possession. Boy, there's Hayden High again. He was ready for that one too. Hayden High went strong for the basket. Decides to kick out to Holden, who just turns around to make a shot and goes in for the rebound. Holden's determined to get that close to the basket shot this game, and he may. He didn't get that one. That looks like that was a jump ball, actually. So the Victory Baptist Academy is now going to let their younger players play. I think they are crying uncle, if you will, with an 18-point lead. And it looks like Coach Davis is going to send in some of his younger players. Well, just Nick. I don't know if I'd call that a younger player. He's playing better. He's great, actually. But Nick has 4 fouls. Comes away with a thing and is determined to get his points in. So with an 18-point lead, looks like the Victory coach is willing to just kind of let these boys play it out. He's got his B team on here right now. Doesn't really have anywhere to go with the ball. There's even a slight defensive stance by that 1-3-1. The 1-3-1 is actually very hard to get the ball through on the pass. You almost have to grid the drive. Boy, just looks like the ball doesn't want to go in for Nick right now. I think he picked up his 4th foul. James is going to tie that up. Stay here. And Eli checks back in the game for Hayden High. 18-point lead by the UCA Mustangs, 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
Okay. Black ball.
Oh boy, I think Eli is kind of thrilled to be playing at this level, but hands weren't quite ready to receive that pass, and that ball goes out of bounds. Refs being a little generous there on what might have been a travel. The ball goes to the corner, and I don't know why he didn't pull the trigger on that. He was wide open. Eli actually pokes it and gets the steal, and Nick goes right in and does not get his points added to. Looked like Holden got away with a small travel there. Eli is able to actually pull that up and get it to James for a wide open look. And there you go. 46th point of the game scored by 44th, 45th, and 46th point of the game scored by James Davis on an outside three with 3 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. That's off the line. Gabriel Dreger coming in for Matthew Goat. It was actually a block by one of those. It's a good block, actually, by one of those victory brothers on Nick. Eli came down with the rebound. But then we had the turnover with Victory coming down here and having a turnover of their own. So 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go. 46.5. Inbound by James Davis. Eli is wide open. I think James sees him. Gabriel Dreger. So give me two. Nice look there by number 4 to get the ball in the corner. What? Puts his whole body in there. Gets it actually beyond the basket. The ref stops the play there. Gives the ball back to the UCA Mustangs. We're just under the threshold of a running clock. Usually a running clock is 30 points in the fourth quarter. We look like we're at 23, so we're a handful of points short from running the clock. Eli decides, you know what? I've been watching everybody else dribble drive. Let me have some of that. But he misses, and Nick misses. Nick can't get the magic that he had in the early part of the game before the fourth foul. Nick cleanly takes that ball with no fouls. Very nice. And he wants to go score that, but he misses. He decides to go for it anyway and does draw a foul. Nick misses the first, gathers in the second, 49-25. Might have a 50-point game on our hands. It's not a good decision to pass out of the discombobulated possession. I thought maybe he'd gotten credit for that and got the foul. Before it was throwing it into somebody a lot taller than him, but no, nothing doing. Nick takes a 3-point shot here, and that is drained. 52-25 is your score. And Nick's putting in more points. Coach might want to call off the dogs. We're on our way to jail. I don't know. Hope we don't wear out our welcome. We haven't actually played Victory since 2007, but it might have been 8. But we used to be in a conference with this school years ago. And based on these banners on the wall, they've been in this other conference since at least 2013. So when we left the conference we were in, we went to what was known as the Middle Tennessee Athletic Conference. Looks like they went into what is the T8ACS, maybe the Tennessee Athletic Association Christian Schools, maybe, I'm guessing. Very nice hands by Nick. Eli almost comes up with the steal. James actually takes it away from the player. But I'm sure these young boys are happy to get a few minutes in basketball. They definitely get before they get too old. Coach Spano with Jack is traveling. Boy, he puts his whole body into that. I think the fans would love to see it come. That's a kick out to Eli, and a very quick score by Eli counts. Brother to brother. Oh, they squabble at home, but they manage to find each other in a cooperative situation to get a fast break. And, it's nice to see that call. Everybody loves a brother to do it. But as it stands, 56-25 we scored. And Jordan coming down to Shelbyville, Tennessee. And we'll have fun seeing this team again. Likely on December the 16th. No, scratch that. December the 15th, Monday night. That game is the last game of December. It will be at the Gallatin Gym at Gallatin First Baptist off Winchester Street. Also, for those of you who can make next week's game, we have an away game in Murfreesboro. We're actually playing a new school, but they're loaded with kids. But their program's only in its second year, so we have no really idea what to expect there. Based on their volume, I would say they're a little bit out of our league, but based on the age of their program, that might be a nice game to play. So we'll check that one out. Tuesday night in Murfreesboro, if you can make it. And the following Monday night at First Baptist Church in Winchester. Hope you can make one of those two games. And hope you have a great Christmas break. Go Mustangs. I saw that come up on the text drop there. Thanks for all the support for the fans watching. And we'll tell them good job. And see you guys next time.